I just want to start off by saying that this video is going to be very unorganized because I have so many thoughts and I've accumulated all of these ideas that I wanted to share just from this morning and a little bit of last night. So I guess I'll just begin with the physical occurrence of what happened last night to me. I was watching YouTube videos of random people, but specifically this one woman who she's so inspiring, and I forgot her name on YouTube, but I was watching her and she was talking about she was talking about how she met her guru and how she went to India and her story pretty much, and it is so beautiful. I cried because it touched my heart. And there was a period of time when I really got into spirituality where my entranceway was Eastern philosophy and Hinduism, and I was so committed to that, and my life was practicing those teachings and reading the Bhagavad Gita daily, and going to, I used to, for a whole year, I went to a Buddhist temple to meditate at 6 in the morning and on the weekends. And so I was listening to her tell this story, and I got really sad, and I felt that I have departed from the time that I'm at now. I've departed from that passion and that desire. And I know I go through cycles. There will be, I'm sure, in a few months where I'm like right back on that train, but as of right now, I just feel like I kind of feel lost. Like I'm doing it all by myself and I have no teacher to look up to. I always have this feeling like I'm never going to have a guru. And I don't know why, and it makes me sad, but so yeah, I was listening to her and just thinking about all of the things I didn't have and all of the things I've done wrong and how I wished I could be on a wavelength like her where I can manifest those things. And then I had to pull back for a second. I stopped the video and I said, is this external observation from another person benefiting me or hindering me? And obviously it was hindering me. Not saying that her video has an intent of disturbing another person, but for me in that moment, I was in a place where my emotions couldn't see from a new perspective. So I had to turn it off and go within, and I just kept saying, I just kept having to say that these manifestations of other people, my reflections, the people all around me who are experiencing this spiritual path and who I feel like I lack, that is such a distorted point of view to have, and I had to remind myself that it is unity consciousness. So if I worship a guru outside of myself, that for me would make the illusion so much harder. And so for people who can handle having that external guru or that spiritual path drive them to unity, then it's for them. And I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that, I guess as we know, every road leads home. Every road leads to the same place. And just because I don't have my guru, and just because I'm not a devotee or someone who is immersed in the Hindu way of life does not mean that I cannot experience bliss at the same level as them. And when I was feeling all of the sorrow, I just had to learn to empower myself. And by empowering them and seeing their beauty and their path, and then also seeing my beauty and my path. If I have to do this enlightenment thing, or whatever you want to call it, alone, without having some miraculous events occur, then that's the way I chose for it, and it's for a damn good reason. Maybe I can't handle having miracles or teachers around me because I will get addicted to it. I will get addicted to the illusion. Maybe my purpose is to see that I'm my own guru, and that other person had enough strength to have a guru in their life and continue on without getting caught in the illusion or attached to it. But anyways, so as I was noticing this, I started to let go of this desire and this negativity and this type of like jealousy, I guess. I saw it for what it was, and I started meditating, and I started thinking about Paramahansa Yogananda, and whenever I think about him, it really just warms my heart, and I started to do a little bit of Kriya Yoga. I did a lot of breath work, and I took each breath. This is what I usually do, but I take each breath up each chakra, and usually when I get to the third eye, I just kind of blast out. And I hadn't done it in so long, and so last night I did it, and the magic, the miracle was within. And right when I thought that I was losing hope and that I didn't have this beauty or potency in me, I just had to develop an awareness of just self-realization. That's all it took, self-realization. And then I pulled out that strength within me, and so I was doing this meditation for a while, and I had my eyes closed, and then I opened my eyes, and I've had this occur quite a few times, but it's been probably over a year now, maybe less, but it doesn't matter, where I have a mirror thingy right in front of I sleep on the floor, so not bed, but blankets. And, but I opened my eyes, and there was a blue, what's the word, not veil, but like a blue aura over me, a blue circle, and I was illuminated, and I always remember that, I forgot who said this, it was somewhere, I read something, but they talk about when you come in contact with source energy, you will see a blue entity, or a blue, like, I don't know how to explain it, a blue light, pretty much. And I got to that point, and then immediately I had so much fear in such a short amount of time, because I thought that I was going full in. I thought I was going, like, gonna be gone. And there was fear, and instantly I just came down. And with that fear, there was oh no, what did I do? I had it, now it's gone. And, that's one of the biggest illusions with meditation. But, so I had to take a lot of time to learn from that small occurrence and I started to do my breath work again, and I started to say some affirmations saying, I accept, I accept, I accept. And I would say things like, I shall not fear, I shall not fear. Just, those kind of affirmations. And I came to a new point of existence in that moment of time where it wasn't the blue light, and I had to come to terms with the fact that just because you don't experience the exact same thing over again, which I struggle with meditation, I always want to get that exact high again. But I developed a new color instead. And I just had to keep saying, I accept, I accept, I accept, I am worthy, I am ready. And I kept saying, I'm ready. And there was my whole body was illuminated by this red and orange and burgundy, hue above my crown chakra, and it went up and down my body. But I felt it so strongly on the crown chakra. And I sat with that for a while, and I just, as my human sensations started to come back, my human desires of, I kind of feel like laying down and getting a drink of water, there was this ease about it and this humor where I was like, it's so, like, I was like, it's so beautiful to be a human and to have this desire, and it's so enlightening. And I'm always putting it down, going, oh man, I'm back to being me. And in that moment, there was no leaving. There was no leaving that enlightenment. And being hungry and thirsting and wanting to lay down and do the human things, it was so, so eternal and filled with abundance. But another thing with the meditation, with meditations I like to do, is this ties into me watching the video and looking externally. I knew that I needed to sit with myself and to be non-attached and really just ask myself what I need and what I need to do, and just be real with just me. And I asked myself several questions, and first actually I was asking God, saying, what do I do? Why am I here? Who am I? All those questions. Nothing. And that happens a lot. I will get silence, and I feel this like emptiness. And then it occurred to me, I was like, well, why don't you just ask God? But in a different way. And so I started asking myself these questions, not my angels or guardians or whatever, my other entities and protectors. This feeling that came within me just said, just ask the God that's right here. So I did, and that's where the meditation got really, really intense and beautiful. But eventually I knew it was time to rest, so I laid down and watched the whole shifting of me going and sailing off into the astral world happen, and visions upon visions as usual lately. Sacred geometry, messages, symbols, sacred text, hieroglyphics, everything just happening. But last night I remember a major theme, and I remember seeing this symbol in my dream, and the entire dream revolved around it, and it was such a key thing for my existence and progression. And I just remember in the dream going, you'll really need to dive into this tomorrow. Please remember this. And funny enough, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I can kind of describe it by the words I was saying in the dream, describing it. So that doesn't make sense, but whatever. But it was two circular images beside each other, and kind of like a point. Oh, point inside of them, and they were just not rolling, but spinning and spinning. I don't know if they were both spinning the same way or both opposite ways, but it looked like a wheel, and my entire dream, things were occurring in the dream, like these stories and everything. Everything was occurring, but it was only occurring due to the movement of these cyclical wheels. And in the dream, I was just saying, oh, this is existence. This is everything. This is, it's everything. And it was so significant and blissful in the dream, and the fact that I was aware that I was aware that I was aware, it just allowed me to really feel what it is to be alive and to be a creator. So, and then after a while, I woke up, and I honestly thought it was time to go to work, and I just sit straight up, and I look around, and I'm like, whoa, there are people in here big time, because I don't even know why I woke up. I just woke up ready, and like, such a strong presence in the room, and it was invisible again. But then this was testing my faith, I guess you can say, because I doubt and deny everything, and that's what really gets me down. But I just said, just because I can't see does not mean it's not happening. And I accepted, and I just sat there going, I accept. And then I just let them observe me, and I was observing them in a way, I guess. But then I just laid back and started to go back to sleep again. And I woke up with a profound feeling of transformation. And again, it's a blur to my conscious, ego-filled mind right now. And I accept that. And I know it's in my subconscious, and I know that I have grasped all that I need to, and that I don't need to attain or hold anything physically in my brain or mind, because that only causes attachment for me. Because I'm all about the trip. How did the trip go? The results. I always need the facts and all of this sparkly, like, experience. It's not about being an experiencer or any of that. It's about integration and learning to move forward without being attached. I think the integration, a lot of the time, is the most important thing. I mean, you need both of them, but the integration, without that, there's no point in experiencing anything, really. So, yeah, that was my last night, and I'm really happy that I went through that suffering and that self-denial and hatred and walked into empowerment. I know that when I consciously decide to merge back into the eternal oneness, into the throne of God, as the Christian Bible puts it, I know that I totally spaced it. I can't even remember what I was saying anymore, and that's okay. But yeah. And so here I am right now, being a human, and that's okay, and I accept. And oh, actually, I know what I was saying now. Yeah, so when I decide to merge back into the oneness, what's happening right now? Oh my goodness. Oh, suffering. That's what I wanted to talk about. And now you're seeing me totally raw, and I hope you enjoy this because this is really hard and embarrassing, and I would love to cut this out, but I won't. So when I move back and merge into the oneness, I know that suffering will no longer be useful, and I won't really need it to exist anymore. Which I will be all of it. I will be suffering and happiness and joy, but beyond it is what I'm trying to say. And so as humans, we must accept suffering and see its purpose and love it and make friends with our neuroses and not abolish them, because that's detrimental and that's hypocrisy in itself. But yeah, just have gratitude for the moments of pain and suffering and for the moments of bliss. For as humans, in this state of consciousness, we require it right now. We won't always require suffering, but this is where we're at. I'm sorry for my spaciness. With major transformation, I'm usually not there. People see it as, people used to call me ditzy all the time because I have these like spacey moments where I can't remember what certain things, but it's okay. That's okay, and I'm just grateful for everything right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video and kind of understood what I was talking about. I told you, it was very random and unorganized, but yeah, it doesn't really matter, does it? Okay, thank you.